Hey, how you getting on? Welcome to the first ever episode of Cab Chat. I'm JK51. If you don't know me, if you do know me, my name's Leon. um, the way we're going to work this one is through the fact that we're all working at different times. We've not been able to do it face to face. So we're going to have Pete and Carl with us today. Pete, as you know him, is Booster Seat Trucker Pete. And Carl, as you know him, is No Drama Carl. Both veterans, both Class 1 drivers. Pete drives Wagon and Drag, and Carl drives quite a beautiful Volvo that he's just recently acquired. So I sent them some questions and asked them to give us a video response. And, you know, we had a chat that way, and that was just the best way we could do it. We all know what the industry's like. We can be here, there and everywhere, working all hours. As we go on, we'll get better at this and we'll manage to get timings and actually have a proper chat with people. So have a listen, have a watch, enjoy. Don't forget, follow us on TikTok, Facebook and YouTube. We're everywhere. All in Hope, we are here for the drivers and the families of the drivers. We are here to help you in whatever way we can, be it with your mental health, be it anything we can. Anything we can help you with, we will try our best. No one hauls alone. Take care. Enjoy.
Good evening. So yeah, I grew up in Blackburn in Lancashire. Lived around really down Blackburn sort of area, northwest of England. Yeah, so grew up with my mum, my dad, brother and sister. And growing up, obviously, we all had different views. Growing up, obviously, I was pushed, not so much pushed, but guided down a discipline route, which I don't know, my mum must have seen some characteristics in my other siblings that she didn't want me to have. So basically, at the age of, I think, a 13-year-old, joined the Marine Cadets. And then, yeah, basically, that sort of rolled on to joining the army at age 16, as soon as I left school. So yeah.
Well, I'm Peter. I grew up and lived around Mansfield. I always liked the military as I was growing up, but I always wanted to prove everyone wrong. I wanted to join it, and I've never looked back. And I quite enjoyed it at the time with the military. I actually been in the full-time army and also the reserves. And in being in the reserves, that's how I got all my licenses.
So when I joined the military in 2007. Like I said, I was still a boy. I was 16, and the daily life in the military compared to like your normal working life is completely different. Full of rules and regulations, expectations, values, morals and standards. So, you know, like where we get up these days, say 4 o'clock in the morning, and obviously you wouldn't do that unless you were going on the ranges or an exercise. Say we were going to get up at 8 o'clock, depending on what type of driving you're doing out here. Before that, you'd be expected to do physical training to obviously keep you to, like, you know, your peak fitness. So you do that and then carry out your daily tasks, whether that be changing light bulbs, checking over the trucks. For me, as I progressed through my career, I got to a point where I was inspecting trucks You could call it like a sort of an MOT underneath, looking at the chassis, looking at the ball joints, all that sort of stuff. See if it is roadworthy. Once it had been through its service, and the guys that were servicing it and the lasses, I'd make sure it's been done basically, because I'd gone away, qualified for that, done that sort of training, and yeah, so yeah, it can be different, but here we are now.
What made me become a HGV driver? You know what? It's a freedom. And I'm on the open roads. I'm a tramper, you see. So I get to see places that none of you lot will probably ever see. I do the mileage. And since doing the mileage, I get to see lovely sceneries. I get to see a lot of things that a lot of people don't see. And that's why I like being a driver. And to compare it with the forces and being a driver, anything that's different is you're not in uniform. Well, you are kind of in uniform, but you're not in green kit. You're not in fucking NTP. And that you just make sure you're up on time, which you got to be in the forces, and you got to be same with work. You always got to try and make yourself feel clean and presentable.
So, comparing the roles to what I do now to what I did in the army. Like I said, I did HGV driving in the army, but you'd like to think the regulations are quite strict, which they are, but in the military we don't run off tachograph. We run off manual driver's hours cards. So as you can imagine, they can be, what's the best word for it? They can be written out in your favour basically. Not so much nowadays where it's all tachograph. But with the military being tachograph exempt in some vehicles, then yeah, so yeah, it's driving in the army and driving out here. There's definitely a big difference in it. I've drove around the world: Kenya, Germany, Cyprus, Afghanistan, through the deserts of Afghanistan. So yeah, so it is different, but don't take long to get used to.
Like I said previous, being a HGV driver and being in the military, it's all about timings, and that everything's always strict on timings. You got to be at that specific place for a job. So since I'm on the Brick High, sites usually opens about 7 o'clock, sometimes maybe early. But if they are open early and there's a site contact, I'll give them a buzz, speak to them. But usually we start getting on sites for from 7 o'clock onwards. Unless there's overtime, it's like, for instance, there's school by, we can't get on site till 9 o'clock. Or whatever special instructions there is. But with the military and this job, as a HGV driver, it's all about timings. You got to be precise on your timings, and especially some of the places, you got timings to deal with.
Well, that's a good question. Regarding best places or postings, regiments work for. I can tell you something now. Within 15 years, I've been around and I've worked for a lot of different regiments under different cap badges. Obviously, one that really sticks out for me is when I was in Paderborn Senderlager in Germany. Only because, well, one, it's a different country. Two, family got to experience it. Luke and my son, he was born in Germany. No, he doesn't get half the nationality or the luxuries of having a well, it's not, what is it, it's not citizenship, sorry. So I don't get to live in Germany when I retire, unfortunately. Cheers, Luca, thanks for that. But yeah, so what else is there? 2009, I was with 12 LSR in Abingdon, which is near Oxfordshire. With that regiment, I deployed to Afghanistan in 2010 and again in 2011, back end of 2011, 2012. So that type of that posting, sorry, will always stick with me. Due to the fact of obviously the kinetic conflict and the friends that I've made, and I still speak to a few of them today. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to obviously serve for the Queen and the country. And yeah, like I said, you know, it's got me about a bit, and I want to go back to Germany for a little holiday. Yeah, it's nice. Always hot. When it's hot, it's hot. When it's cold, freezing.
Yeah, when I was in the regular army, I did a tour of Afghan, Op 15, and yeah, there's some bits and bobs that's on there, but I won't get into details about it because there's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, so. Respect for each other. And that's a big, big role. In the day to day, if you respect someone, that means a lot because they should give you respect. Like, for instance, it shows a lot of appreciation. So by greeting them first, saying hello, and just by saying, look, if you're kind, friendly, you know, got no high-rated voices, then they'll come to you like, yeah, he's a nice bloke, I'll give him respect back. End of the day, respectful to each other is a big, big thing. No. If you're not going to be respectful, you're going to get the shit. Plain and simple at the end of the day. No, you're just going to get the hit. But there is things that we do on sites, which I can't say, because I don't know who's going to ever watch this, but as forklift drivers, if we're nice and respectful to them, and they're respectful back to us, we'll help them out. But if they're not going to be respectful, and they're just going to be knob jockeys, pun intended, but there's some things that we do to them, but I ain't going to say what. So yeah.
It's a bit of a tricky question, but I reckon I can answer it. Like I said, I joined when I was 16, so I'm still a lad. I was first in the war zone at 18-year-old. That was the worst one, Herrick 12, 2010. That was we could say the most mental health damaging one. Then 2 years later, I went back again. It was a bit better, but war zones are not made to be good or fun or a good experience. And that leads me on to explaining how it shaped me. Still to this day, I still suffer with the experiences, and that's fine. It's okay not to be okay. And I don't know, I like to think I value life more. Could I have done things differently? 100%. Would I change things that I've done? 100%. You know, but the thing is, everything that's happened has happened for a reason, and it's shaped me for the way I am now. I ain't perfect, far from it. You know, still got a lot of work to do. But, you know, having Holding Up and all my mates around, and my son and family, it's, you know, it takes time. Time is precious. So, yeah, I'd say, I don't know. It definitely has changed me as a person, because I couldn't imagine anyone going to Warzone 18 and coming back the same person. I definitely didn't. But it would be quite interesting to see if I didn't go, what I'd be like now. Who knows? Who knows?
How to serve the forces ship. With the forces, it takes you out of the civilian life into the military life. You're literally plucked. So you've got, they'll just pluck you to break you down and then just shape you. So like I said, with forces, everything's done by timings. Especially like HGV. I keep on going about timings because it's the most easiest thing to say. And at the end of the day, yeah, I've grown a beard now. But usually, it's always clean shaven. You're always respectable. You're like personally, hygiene. You look after yourself. You look after yourself, look after the vehicles. And basically look after the equipment that you've been given. Now, like, without your equipment, it ain't you, is it? You can't do your job.
So, thanks for watching. Please give us a follow. Give Carl and Pete a follow as well. You can see what it means to them. You can actually hear in their voices the effect being in the military has had. And we're proud of them. We're proud of who they are. And we're proud of the help they're giving out to other people and their advice. And if you want to ask them any questions, I'm sure they will answer you. Drop them a message, jump in on one of their lives. They're usually pretty live quite a bit. Pete's usually live with his top off talking to some random people on TikTok. And Carl's usually always live as well. But yeah, no, give them a live. If you need to talk to us, drop us a message. We're here for you. But yeah, there'll be more to come. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time, thank you very much. Peace out.